Hi, this is Dana with Designs by Dana, and what I absolutely love about YouTube is that it has afforded me the opportunity to reach out to other crocheters, designers with ease and watch some of their tutorials. I am a crochet designer myself. Love to make hats, and I was inspired recently by a cousin that was in Jamaica, and every picture I saw of her, she had on a beautiful hat. So I started working on a hat, and I'll show you a few of the pictures. I'll throw some clips in after this of some of the hats that I was making, but in my heart, I wanted to make a big brim hat. So I just put in big brim hat on the YouTube search, and I ran across African Crab is her name, and I'll put her information and link to one of her hats in my description, because I am not taking credit for the design of this hat. That was done by her, but I made this, and I've done I wanted to give you some insight to some of the things that I came across, some tips, and just have fun with the hat. And of course, if you'd ever like to have one made, you can let me know. If you love it, or you feel like you can't do it yourself, or you just don't want to do it yourself. But I'm going to be showing pictures of probably 2 or 3 more hats that I'm going to make using this design and another design that I actually came up with also. But on this particular tutorial, I will not be doing a step-by-step on this hat. I'll just give you the link, because the African Crab lady did an excellent job on every row that you have to do. The hats have about 34 rows. I think mine has about 40. I went a little further because I wanted to hang on my low, and I'm going to wear this with a sundress, go to church. So I might even try to wait before I drop this so that you'll see pictures of that also. But like I said, there were some things that as I was making the hat that I was not comfortable with, or some questions that I didn't get answered. So kind of searched out myself, and then I'm going to give you some tips on that if you'd like to crochet one for yourself. But I'm just, like I said before, in love with YouTube, that I'm able to just reach out and find exactly what I want. And the best part is that I have also been able to be a blessing to many people who follow my work on my YouTube channel. So sit back, relax. If you're interested in this hat, watch the, I'm not going to say it's a tutorial, but just going to give you some different ideas. I'm just going to show you how I finished off the brim, and then I'll put a couple of more pictures on. Just see how easy that was? I could just tilt that down. Oh, just absolutely love it. All right, so sit tight. Here we go. All right, I wanted to show you a tip right quick. This is the crown of the hat, body, and this is the end where you're going to start doing your brim. This right here is just called the tail, and I use that as markers. All right, and then I just put the marker every row in the front loop of the very first stitch of the next row. And that always told me when I came back around that this was the start of the next row. And I just kept moving it up. Now in the pattern she'll show you, when you get down to row 11, you're going to stop your increasing, and then you're just going to do single crochets all the way around from row 11 to row 22. And when you get down to row 22, she's going to start you at your brim. And when you start at the brim, again, you might want to mark, and you'll just pick up your tail and start marking. And so I never have anything right here where I need it. Well, there it is, my hook. So I just take it because this one is going to be the very next stitch. This is the end of the row. This is the beginning of the row. So I just pull the tail right through there and carry it on up. When I get done, just pull it out and you'll be done. And you'll start your brim. And just follow her instructions, and that was pretty simple. But what happened is when I got to this part, I ran out of yarn. This was one whole skein. So I'm going to show you quick how to do a factory knot. So I lay that down, then I get my new one, and I lay it the opposite direction. Alright, so I take this one, and I go up underneath here, and come over top. Make a loop over top. Then I go up underneath it, put the tail up underneath it, and I knot it. I know my hand might be in the way. Then I take the other side here, and I go up under this one, and come back up over top, and stick it in the hole. There you go. And then I pull. And then when I pull really tight, that's called the factory knot. Then I just cut it real close. Then I just kind of rub it together. And then I'll show you how I get rid of it so you don't see it in your work. So I'm at an increase right here. This is the beginning of my row. I'm probably in, this is just a row, not just regular row. So I'm just going to single crochet. And another good trick with this one is when you do the brim, the odd numbers are your increase rows, and the even numbers are your ones that you just go around, and you do no increase. Alright, now I've gone past the knot already, and I noticed that my knot popped up right on top. And I know that the next time that I come around, I'll be covering that up. But say I didn't want to see that on my front side. This is what I would do. When I see that I'm getting close to the knot, I make sure that I guide it towards the back. Alright, so here comes the knot. There's the knot. I see the knot. See the knot right there? I'm going to make sure it stays back there in the back. So when I go for the next stitch, I just hold it back there in the back and finish off the stitch. And then I keep on crocheting. Alright? So now this is actually right there in the middle. That's the wrong side. That's the right side. You just hide the knot, and then you just keep on going. Alright, so when this one gets done, I'll add this one to the video also. So those were two pieces of information that I wanted to give you. Next, I went to the store, and I stayed in the store for over an hour trying to decide what was going to be the best type of wire to get. And because she didn't give me a gauge, I wasn't sure, and I kept replaying the video and replaying the video. So the hat that I have on in the video, you see in the white one, this is what I use. And this was called 20 gauge. And it was, the gauge was 20, and I got this in the beading department. The next hat, I'm going to try this, because this is what it looked like to me in the picture of her hat. So, and they didn't have what she showed at the Michael's that I was at. This I got in the floral department. This one is 12 gauge. This one's 12 gauge. This one was by Ashley, a decorative wire. And this had 5 yards. And this one had 8 yards. There's another one they had was green, and I'm going to get that one too. And I think it was 18 or 22 gauge. So it's going to be in between this one and in between this one. And I'll try all three of them to decide which one works best, or if I like all of them. And then lastly, we used, what did I use? Sugar and cream. I just used sugar and cream. And sugar and cream was 2 ounces. It was 4 ply. That was 95 yards. And then the white one, I actually used 3 because a third one, and those were all my scraps that I had. So hopefully that will be helpful. These are just things that I found that I didn't get answers to in the video, and I went to the store and wasn't sure what type of wire to use. So I did make sure I went online and pulled up my 40% off coupon for Michael's. That always helps. If I have to go to the store 5 times, then that's what I'm going to do to get my discount. So if I have any more tips, I'll come back and share those with you. Alright, now I've done this twice now, so I think I got it right. When I get to the end, just before my tail, I'm going to do a slip stitch into the top of that tail, which is my beginning row, to end my last row of my hat. So now I've just closed it off and ended, so that it's all the same. What I'm going to do to start my new row to put my wire in, I'm going to chain 1 to give me some height, so when I come back around I'll have something to close it off at. I'm going to lay my wire in front of me, and I'm going to grab my running yarn and I'm going to go over it. With a single crochet. And then I'm going to do the next one the same way. But in the meantime, I've got to do something with this or it's going to slide out and run away from me. So I'm going to take it and bend it. Just bend it down to the back of the back of my work, because I've lost it 2 times already. So I think I'm just going to go through one of the stitches, come out the front. I don't want to lose it again. There we go. And then continue on. Being careful not to stick myself. Yeah, that's the only problem I foresee with that. See there? Just had to stop it. Alright, let me turn my back to you a little bit. Alright, I hope that TV isn't distracting you, all you Jeopardy lovers. No sound. And I think I said earlier, I love to do my videos just where I'm at in my life, whatever I'm doing. If I'm having a bad hair day, a good hair day, sitting down in my basement, sitting in my living room. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just going over. I'm doing a regular crochet through both front and back loop. I'm not doing any back loops now. Alright. And I'm just carrying this wire right along the work. And after I do about 10 or 15, maybe I'll do about 20, kind of making them taut, tight, tightening up each one. I chose to use the silver instead of black or green, since I knew the top was white, or my hat was white. I think it's pretty hard to cover. Alright, so after I get so far, as I've seen them say, you're kind of going to stretch it as you go along. Get that tautness in there. So I'm just going to keep on doing that around, and when I get to the other side, I'll tune you back in and we'll see where we're at. I am really excited about this project, and I'm so happy I ran into the tutorial I found. to make this. I am a crochet designer, and sometimes I just don't want to figure out a pattern. It's nice to be able to go and look online and see what somebody else already has done. And if you can critique it and make it a little better or something, that's fine. But just to take, so that you don't have to go through what I did to find the wire, to decide which one was going to be the best. So I'm actually going to do both of these. I'm going to use this wire, and then I'm going to use the darker wire, the thicker wire, and then I'm going to go get the green and use all three to see which one is going to be the best. Alright, so I'll be back when I get all the way around.
Especially if I...
Oh, that was my daughter. I'm stretching this as I go along. I had to, you know, just stretching it out as I go, as I'm doing them. It's coming together. Okay, while I'm doing this continuous round is getting on my nerves, okay? So you might want to measure your hat, you know, before you start this process, and cut it so you don't have all that extra. But for the first time, since I didn't measure, probably just could have folded in half and doubled that, and then added a little extra for binding it off. But I'm going to go ahead and keep pushing this slinky looking thing that's getting on my nerves. But we'll keep going. Okay, I'm coming down to the wire, as they say. Can you see that? This is the... But I think I'm supposed to stop at some point and straighten it out and then twist those two together and then go over it. This wire's in my way, so now I see I got enough. I'm going to cut this wire and be done with it. Sorry for that. I'm going to cut it. Cut. Alrighty, now where am I at? Get that. I don't like doing that. I have to come up with something different next time. Finding my hook. Alright, so some kind of way I've got to wind these two together and then go over it. So I'm going to back that out just a little bit. See that? I'm going to just do one twist for a second, and then I'm going to straighten this out first. See how this is looking. Make sure I have enough. Hope I didn't cut it too short. I did. It just popped out of there. Look at there. It just popped out of there. So I'm going to have to go all the way back to that part because I cut it too soon. So don't do that. See there, I cut it too soon before I stretched it. So I shouldn't have cut the wire until I stretched it so that I make sure I have enough. So guess what? Learning. So I'm going to take that out and start all over again. And I'm going to measure my my wire right here when I take this out, and then I'm going to add that much more to it so I don't have to fight with it. Yeah, I don't like that. I could probably still put it back in here. We'll see. I'll do it off camera, but I'll be back and let you know what I came up with. I'm back. So I pulled it out. I'm going to measure it just to get an idea. What did I do wrong? Whoop. This measured at 43.5. This wire. So what I should have probably did was fold the hat in half. And measured it, and then double that. So let's try that. What did I say, 43 and a half? So I'm gonna measure. I'm not gonna pull it too tight, just pull it a little bit. Measure on my tape. I measure on tape. Just a little pull. Because that does stretch some, so. A little bit. And I do this on camera so you can see. I hate being frustrated. And straighten it out as much as I can. Okay, so that's 26 and a half. So 26 and 26 is what, 52? 52. So let's say 53. So that's 53. And we added this at 43 and a half, so I was 10 short. 10 and a half short. So because of that pulling around to get your, so this is going to be key before you do your wire. Measure. Fold your brim in half. And I kind of stretch mine just a little bit to make sure I have enough. So I just put it on there, stretched it with my back finger, pulling it, and stop, and then go to the next part. Two together, stop. Just keep doing that. And then take that number and double it. And then that's what you need. 26 and a half. I'm going to go with 27. So 27, 7, 14, 54. So I'm going to make sure I do 54, and then I want to be able to tie it. 54, so I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to add 3 more. 54, 57. I'm going to do 57. I don't like to waste stuff, but I'm going to do 57. So I'm going to string this out and make 57, and then I'm going to start all over again. So I'll come back once I've got it in there, and just when I get to the end before I tie it off. Okay? Hey, I found something else that you need to do on your edging. Remember I told you I was going to tape it, but I went right back over what I had done. Not at height, I went over it. So what I need to show you is that, can you see that? I'm going to go down. So I'm going to go working on the next one. I'm going down into the, so I'm overlapping. Just going right back over top of it. So that's double securing it. So I'm not going into the top of the stitch, I'm going into the bottom of the stitch all the way around. You see that? See how that gives it that thickness there on the edge? It's beautiful. Let me turn it around. Look there. So here's the next one. So what I want you to see is I'm going to go not into the stitch up here, going into it down there. There, and there, and there. Not up in the top of the stitch. And then that gives you this over part. Look there. Gives you a wonderful finish, really. Beautiful. I want to come back and just show you that. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Another tip. I folded it up. Fold it up, pack it in your bag, pack it in yours with your swimsuit. Now this is all cotton, so you know, wash it and everything. Love, 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 love. Great idea. I can't wait to get busy, and I'm gonna get some straw, and I am gonna even try to do some type of fabric. So I'm gonna really go crazy with these hats for the summer, and I'm gonna make some airy ones also. Enjoy.